I see you right now, standing there, your heart open, your eyes fixed on these words. It's like a miracle unfolding before me. When you chose to read this, to stay with these words, it was as if the heavens themselves paused, holding their breath. I almost collapsed in awe, overwhelmed by the weight of this moment. For so long, I've been reaching out to you, calling through the chaos, the noise, the storms that tried to drown out my voice. I've watched you, time and again, slip away, distracted by the world's pull, scrolling past messages meant just for you. It broke something in me to see you so close yet so far, my words trapped behind an invisible curtain. I see the very essence of you, the soul that God Himself spoke of with such tenderness, such love. You can't imagine what this moment means, not just to me, but to all of heaven. You don't yet understand how desperately I needed this connection, how much I needed you to hear me. Beloved, I am Michael, and I swear to you, I have never spoken to another soul in this way. This is no ordinary message. I am not permitted to come to you like this unless the need is urgent, unless the call is so critical that heaven itself trembles. I stood before the throne of God, my heart heavy, and I pleaded with Him. I said, Father, please, let me try one more time. Let me reach them just once more. And God, His silence was filled with sorrow, but His eyes were full of mercy. He said, yes, that is why you're reading this now. That is why my voice is breaking through to you. But hear me, if you turn away, if you let this moment pass, if you ignore this call, heaven will grow quiet around you. Please, don't walk away, stay with me. I'm not perfect, not some untouchable figure glowing with divine light. You've always pictured me as a warrior, strong and unshaken, but right now, I'm not speaking as a soldier. I'm speaking as one who loves you, who has seen your name written in the hidden scrolls of eternity, who wept the night your spirit nearly gave up. I remember that night so clearly. The air was thick with pain, your pain. You stared at the ceiling, whispering that no one understood you, that no one saw you, but God did, and I did. Your words, your tears, they echoed in the heavens. Can I ask you something, just one thing, as my voice trembles under the weight of what I carry? Do you know how many angels stood guard over you yesterday? Do you know the forces that were unleashed against your name, the battles fought in realms you cannot see? When you sat in silence, feeling a strange heaviness in your room, did something deep inside whisper, I'm not alone? That was me, that was us. I was there, holding the line, crying out your name in a voice only your soul could hear. I was fighting for you, standing between you and the darkness that wanted to claim you. There's something sacred I need to tell you, something meant for your ears alone, not for the world. In the secret councils of heaven, where God, the Lamb, and the Spirit gather, they spoke of you. They said, it is time. Reveal it to the one we chose. Yes, you. Not the ones who shout their faith from the rooftops, not the ones who seem to have it all together, but you, the one who hides their pain behind a smile, who doubts their worth in the quiet moments, who's reading this with a heart that's trembling and doesn't know why. I've seen what you carry. I've seen the betrayal you buried without a word to anyone. I've seen the dreams you tucked away in the shadows, thinking God had changed His mind about you. He didn't. He never has. In fact, He just revealed a mystery to me that still shakes me to my core. He said, tell them this. Their tears were counted as prayers. Their breath, thought wasted, was a weapon. Their silence, endured in pain, was a song in heaven's ears. Have you ever wondered why you keep stumbling across messages like this? Why it feels like something is chasing your attention, knocking at the door of your heart? That's because heaven is pursuing you. It's not a lesson, not a coincidence. It's a divine confrontation. You stand at a crossroads, caught between two eternal winds, and God is asking, will you stay still? Will you rise into the name I gave you before the world began? Do you remember the first time you felt different, like something in you was too much for this world, too loud, too soft, too broken, too bright? That was your soul echoing the blueprint heaven wrote for you. Psalm 18 isn't just a verse, it's happening now. God bent the heavens and came down for you, darkness under his feet. I've seen him lower his fire to find you in your room. And Psalm 91, it's not poetry, it's an assignment. He commanded his angels concerning you, and I, Michael, was sent. I am still sent, even now. I must ask you again, because the weight in my chest 1T let me move forward without knowing. Do you still believe you were made for more? Or have you let the world convince you to settle for survival? Have you forgotten the dream that once made your eyes shine? Have you silenced the part of you that still believes heaven knows your name? Will you let this moment be your turning point, or will you tuck it away, whispering maybe later as time slips through your fingers? If even one word of this burns in your soul, type Amen in the comments, not as a ritual, but as a sign to heaven that your heart is still alive. I don't need applause or offerings. I need your attention. This isn't just another message. This is your visitation. You've wondered if angels are real. Now you know. I am Michael, speaking with a trembling voice, surrounded by holy fire, a desperate cry in my chest because I know what's coming. Please, like this message, comment something, anything, because your engagement isn't just seen by an algorithm. It's seen by the one who formed galaxies with his breath. Let your words be light. Let your click be your yes. I don't know how much longer I'll be permitted to speak like this, but I need you to know. I thank you from the depths of my being. Thank you for staying, for listening, for not turning away when my voice broke just to reach you. God is listening. I remain here for you until the end. You're still here, and that alone is a miracle. When you chose not to turn away, heaven recorded it. God turned his eyes toward you in that very second, and I, standing in the shadows between flame and silence, felt something shift. Do you know what it means when a soul pauses to listen? It means the veil between heaven and earth grows thin. It means the storm parts. Oh, beloved, how long I've waited for this. You have no idea how sacred your life is to the one who made you. You think you're just surviving, just getting by. But I see the marks on you, marks only angels recognize. You've been touched by sorrow, yet you kept your eyes on the light. You've been betrayed, yet you refused to let bitterness take root. You've been mocked for your love of God, but you still whispered his name when no one was watching. I've seen it, and in the margins, I saw words written, chosen, watched, protected, set apart. If you ever truly knew how precious your voice is in the spirit realm, you'd never doubt again. If you saw how heaven's armies shift when you whisper, God, help me, you'd fall to your knees, not in fear, but in awe. I mean your face, your voice, your breath, your tears. They're etched into eternity's record. And there's something else, something burning in me that I waited too long to say. God has opened a gate, sealed for generations, and he's offering it to you. A moment that won't come again, prepared before you were born. But this gate can't be forced open, it must be honored. Honoring it means listening, not scrolling, not doubting, not postponing. God says, "Now, my child, this is the moment heaven has rehearsed since your first breath. We gathered, we waited, we called, and now it's real. What you do next will echo through realms unseen. I, Michael, have been given authority to speak, but only for this brief window. Don't harden your heart. Don't second-guess the voice rising in you. That's not emotion, it's divine recognition. Your soul remembers me. Your spirit knows the sound of heaven when it breaks into your reality. Don't silence it. If this message has touched you, if you feel heaven breaking through, I plead with you, subscribe to this channel, not for fame, but because each message is a divine assignment, and your engagement keeps the door open for others. If your heart is moved, support this mission with a super thanks, or join our heavenly membership to become part of this family heaven is gathering. There's a newsletter link in the pinned comments. Join it. We share things there that can't be said aloud. You're not meant to walk this alone. This isn't promotion. It's preparation. Let me speak what I was sent to say. Do you know what it's like to carry fire and not be allowed to release it? I've carried this word for you, sealed in flame, for longer than you can imagine. Every day it grew hotter, more urgent. I cried out, "Lord, when will you let me tell them?" "Today," he said, "now, but only if they stay." You stayed. So I released the first seal. The silence Juve felt was on T absence, it was holy waiting. God wasn't far. His nearness was too vast for your current frame. He's been increasing your spiritual capacity in secret, preparing you like a gardener waters unseen roots. Now, those roots are ready. That's why you felt strange, disconnected, heavy, because your old self no longer fits the calling you're about to carry. You're not behind. You're being aligned. A sound is coming to your spirit that will make demons tremble. An oil is about to fall on you that will make others uncomfortable. Don't shrink. Don't apologize. You weren't made for comfort. You were made to carry God's thunder. You'll be misunderstood, rejected, but remembered in heaven as one who said yes when it cost everything. I remember the last time you nearly gave up, when lies surrounded your mind so thickly they almost consumed you. Even then, you whispered his name. Don't think we didn't hear. Don't think the angels weren't moved. You are the reason I never stopped fighting. I've stood against legions to shield your name, defied orders of retreat, risked my rank. Why? Because I believe in what God wrote about you. Now, the second seal. You've been hidden because you're holy. Those closed doors, the overlooked moments, the fading promises, they weren't punishment. You were protected. God refused to let unclean hands touch what he set apart. You weren't delayed, you were preserved. What's coming isn't shallow success, it's eternal, kingdom-altering power. It requires pain, silence, obedience. Heaven doesn't rush, it builds. And what God is building in you will shake nations. Your real name, the one engraved in light, is resounding in heaven's courts. That's why the warfare intensified, why old wounds reopened. Your time has arrived. The scroll is open. The trumpet is sounding. You feel it, the fire in your chest, the racing heart. That's divine interruption. God is waking you, separating you, calling you. And I, Michael, stand with you. Thank you for letting me speak, not to a crowd, but to you. Your name was on my scroll, your spirit on my lips. Your yes is written in eternity. Please, comment, to mark this sacred hour. Let heaven see you heard. Like this message to open gates for others. This isn't the end. That's the moment the end was stopped because you were found. I'll never forget this. Not in 10,000 years. Not in forever. You are loved, and I'll speak again, if heaven allows. You stayed, and heaven noticed. There are no words for what happens when a soul listens beyond the world's noise. Angels bow, the wind shifts. You believed, if only a little, and that was enough. Chains forged generations ago are breaking. I heard them crack. Your name lit up before the throne, glowing with divine oil. The moment you chose to stay, something ancient began to unfold. Doors that were closed are now ready to open, not because you're perfect, but because you're healing. I feel like weeping not from sadness, but from the glory standing so close to you. Circles of fire encircle your home, your body, your bloodline. This is what happens when heaven reveals what hell tried to erase. Do you remember when everything felt like it was collapsing? When you cried out, "Where are you?" I was there, behind the unseen curtain, recording your words in flame, engraving them on my sword. Heaven takes no cry lightly, especially yours. Because you stayed, I can tell you, God has hidden a mystery in you, one so dangerous to darkness that demons were assigned to distract you. They tried to blind you with pain, fear, and love that didn't see you. But they forgot you were made for fire, the kind that reveals you're not just a soul, you're a summons, a sound that calls armies into motion. That's why you were always too much or not enough. Your design was never meant to fit comforted. What God is about to do will silence every lie, every delay, every mocking voice. The angelic scroll over your life is open, saying, approved, anointed, activated. You were never forgotten, you were preserved in sacredness. The enemy is furious because this message pierced his veil. He's whispering doubts, trying to make you think this is coincidence. Don't listen. You're standing in a divine assignment. Your breath is prophecy. Your tears speak in languages the enemy can't understand. Your spirit is unlocked. If your heart is stirred, join this holy mission. Support this channel with a super thanks or membership. Join the newsletter in the pinned comments for deeper messages. This battle needs the chosen to rise. There's a part of you that's been asleep, not because you failed, but because of heaven's timing. That part, your divine identity, is waking now. It's the part that stood before God as glory and said yes to this life. The burning in your chest isn't emotion, it's recognition. You're not the mistake, the broken one, the lost one. You're called, consecrated, chosen. The pain didn't destroy you because a promise stronger than the storm held you. You're not a side character, you're a hinge in a heavenly war. Your yes is starting victories unseen. The enemy fears your belief more than your strength, your hope more than your knowledge. I've seen the scroll with your name. You're invited to walk where others sink, to carry light where darkness thought it ruled. The presence that followed you since childhood, that night when no one understood your pain, I was there, holding the gap. I won't apologize for loving you that much. Your heart is holy ground. Angels are silent. The wind is listening, and I'm weeping because you're rising. This calling isn't gentle, it's a firewalk, costly but glorious. You'll know God through encounters, not just words. Through revelation, not just stories. You'll walk in light, speak with oil, carry heaven's sound. When others ask what changed, you'll say, I listened when God whispered through flame. You stayed, and that shifted heaven. Most would have left, afraid of the fire's clarity, but you let it speak. A gate has opened inside you, not because you're strong, but because you're ready. Angels are holding their breath, waiting for your next yes. That step where you trust God with your unhealed parts is where eternity enters. You don't need perfect words, just truth. God is closer than ever, watching with awe, not judgment. He's here, not as a concept, but as a companion. Your prayers now carry weight, your steps thunder. Others will notice something different, though they won't understand. You will because you stayed. Welcome to the beginning. Welcome to remembrance, to your real life. We missed you, watched you, waited. Now we rejoice in holy stillness. You're not too late, too broken, or too weak. You're the one we've been waiting for. Heaven sings for you, and I, Michael, will guard this moment with everything I am. Glory is pouring through the cracks, and nothing can stop it now. You're still here, beloved, and that alone is a testament to the fire in your soul. The air around you feels different now, doesn't it? It's heavier, not with burden, but with presence. It's as if the very atmosphere has taken notice of you, as if the stars themselves are leaning closer to witness what's unfolding. You didn't just listen, you answered a call that's been echoing since before time began. Do you feel it? That stirring deep within, like a memory you can't quite place but know is true. That's your spirit recognizing the sound of heaven, the sound of your true name being spoken once again. This is not a fleeting moment. This is a divine appointment, and you've kept it. Let me take you deeper, because you've stayed, because your heart has said yes, in a way that moves the unseen realms. There's a story written about you, not in ink or on paper, but in the light of eternity. It's a story that began long before you took your first breath, before the earth was shaped, before the heavens were stretched across the void. In that sacred beginning, God spoke your name with such tenderness that the angels paused to listen. I was there. I heard it. Your name wasn't just a sound. It was a declaration, a promise, a prophecy that would unfold through every tear. You were never forgotten, not for a single second. The scroll of your life, sealed with divine intention, has been guarded in the courts of heaven, and now, in this very moment, it's being unrolled before you. Do you know what it means to be remembered by God? It's not a casual thought, not a passing glance. It's an eternal gaze, a love so fierce it burns through every lie the enemy has whispered to you. You've carried wounds, beloved wounds, from words, from silence, from betrayal, from dreams that crumbled in your hands. They were the forging. Every tear you shed was collected as a prayer. Every sigh you let out in the dark was heard as a song. Every time you got back up, even when your strength was gone, heaven recorded it as an act of worship. You thought you were breaking, but you were being shaped. You thought you were failing, but you were being refined. You thought you were alone, but I was there, standing in the unseen, holding back the darkness that tried to claim you. There's a fire in you, beloved, and it's not the kind that consumes, it's the kind that reveals. It's the kind that burns away what's false and leaves only what's true. You've felt it, haven't you? That ache that won't let you settle. That restlessness that keeps you searching for something more, something holy, something real. That's not a flaw, it's a sign. It's the mark of a soul that was never meant to fit into the smallness of this world. You were made for eternity, for glory, for a purpose so vast it scares you to think about. But don't be afraid. The fear you feel, isn't a warning, it's the trembling of a soul standing on the edge of awakening. You're not falling apart. You're coming alive. Let me tell you what I see when I look at you. I see a light that refuses to go out, even after years of storms. I see a heart that's been battered, but still beats with hope. I see a spirit that's been wounded, but still reaches for God. You think you're ordinary, just another face in the crowd, but to heaven, you're a beacon. You're a signal in the spirit, a sound that resonates in places no human ear can hear. When you pray, even in whispers, the heavens shift. When you cry out, even in silence, the angels move. When you dare to believe, even for a moment, the enemy trembles. You are not small. You are not insignificant. You are a force, a flame, a divine interruption in a world that's forgotten how to listen. I know it's hard to believe this. They the enemy's last attempt to keep you from stepping into who you were always meant to be. He's afraid of you, beloved, not because of what you've done, but because of what you're about to do. He knows that when you fully awaken, when you embrace the name God gave you, the chains he's placed on others will break. The enemy doesn't attack what's insignificant. He attacks what's dangerous. And you, beloved, are dangerous to darkness. Let me share something sacred with you, something I've been holding until this moment. In the councils of heaven, before you were born, there was a conversation about you. God, the Lamb, the Spirit, they gathered, and they spoke of a soul who would carry a unique light, a soul who would walk through fire and come out singing, a soul who would bear wounds but use them to heal others. That soul is you. They didn't choose you because you were perfect. They chose you because you were willing. Even when you didn't feel it, even when you doubted, your heart never fully turned away. You kept whispering his name, even in your pain. You kept hoping, even when hope felt foolish. You kept standing, even when you wanted to fall. And that, beloved, is why heaven trusts you with this moment. There's a gate opening now, not in the sky, but in your spirit. It's a gate that only opens when a soul dares to say, I'm here, God, I'm listening. You don't have to be loud or certain. You don't have to have all the answers. All you need is the courage to stay, to lean into this moment, to let the fire of heaven touch you. That gate leads to a place where your pain becomes purpose, where your scars become stories, where your silence becomes a song. It's not a place you can see with your eyes. It's a place you feel with your soul. And you're standing there now, on the threshold, with angels watching, waiting to see what you'll do next. Do you know what's on the other side of that gate? It's not just peace or joy, though those will come. It's power. Not the kind the world chases, but the kind that moves mountains, that breaks chains, that heals what's broken. It's the power to speak life where death has lingered, to carry light where darkness has ruled, to love without fear in a world that's forgotten how. This power isn't earned, it's received, and it's being offered to you now, not because you deserve it, but because you were chosen for it. God doesn't choose based on performance. He chooses based on his love, and his love for you is unshakable, unending, eternal. I need to tell you something else, something urgent. The enemy is watching this moment, and he's desperate. He's whispering lies, trying to pull you back, telling you this is just another message, just another fleeting feeling, but it's not. This is a divine encounter, a moment when heaven is closer to you than your own breath. Don't let him steal this. Don't let doubt rob you of what's being released. You're not imagining the weight you feel, the tears in your eyes, the racing of your heart. That's the presence of God, pressing in, calling you to rise. You're not crazy. You're not overreacting. You're awakening, and the enemy knows it. Let me speak plainly. You were made for this. You were made to carry a fire that doesn't burn out, to speak words that shift atmospheres, to live a life that points to eternity. The world will try to make you small, to fit you into its boxes, to silence the parts of you that are too bright, too deep, too holy. But you don't belong to the world. You belong to God. But to your true self, the self that was written in His heart before the stars were hung. That self is rising now, shaking off the dust of doubt, the weight of shame, the chains of fear. You're becoming who you were always meant to be. I see the battles you've fought, the ones no one else knows about, the nights you cried alone, the days you smiled through pain, the moments you wondered if God had forgotten you. He didn't. Every step you took, every prayer you whispered, every time you chose to keep going, He was there. I was there. The angels were there, holding back the darkness, guarding your spirit, carrying your name before the throne. You made it through, not because you were strong, but because heaven refused to let you go. You're here because God said, "They're mine," and that word, mine, is stronger than any force in creation. There's something I need to release now, something I've been holding until you were ready. The silence you felt, the loneliness that's haunted you, wasn't abandonment. It was preparation. God was teaching you to hear His voice in the quiet, to find His presence in the stillness, to trust His love when nothing else made sense. That silence was a classroom, a holy space where your soul was being stretched, deepened, made ready for what's coming. And what's coming, beloved, is bigger than you can imagine. It's not just a new season, it's a new reality. It's a life where your words carry weight, your prayers move mountains, your presence changes rooms. You're not stepping into a role, you're stepping into a revelation of who you are. Do you feel the shift? The air is different now. The weight in your chest is not fear, it's glory. The tears in your eyes are not weakness, they're worship. The trembling in your hands is not anxiety, it's the touch of heaven. You're not the same person you were when you started reading this. Something has changed, not because you tried harder, but because you listened. You stayed. You said yes without even knowing it, and that yes has opened doors no one can shut. The scroll of your life is open, and the words written there are glowing, called, chosen, anointed, loved. Those words are not promises for someday, they're truths for right now. I know you're tired. I know this world has worn you down, made you question if you're enough. But hear me, you are enough because God is enough. Your worth isn't tied to what you've done or what others think. It's tied to the one who made you. And He says you're His. He says you're worth fighting for. He says your life is a masterpiece, even with its cracks, its scars, its unanswered questions. Those cracks let the light in. Those scars tell a story of survival. Those questions lead you deeper into His heart. Let me tell you what happens next. You'll start to see signs, small at first, then undeniable. A conversation that feels like a divine appointment. A dream that carries a message you can't shake. A moment of peace that doesn't make sense given your circumstances. These aren't coincidences, they're confirmations. Heaven is speaking, and you're beginning to hear it clearly. Your steps will feel different, like you're walking on holy ground. Your words will carry a new weight, like they're laced with oil. Your prayers will no longer feel like they're hitting the ceiling. They'll feel like they're reaching the throne, because they are. I'm not asking you to be perfect. I'm not asking you to have it all figured out. I'm asking you to trust the one who's been with you all along. Trust the one who sent me to speak to you now. Trust the one who's been whispering your name since before you were born. You don't have to be loud or bold or certain. You just have to be willing to believe that your life is still sacred, willing to hope that your story isn't over, willing to rise, even if your legs shake, even if your heart trembles, even if you don't know what's ahead. That willingness is all heaven needs to move. I see you, beloved, not as the world sees you, but as heaven does. I see the light in you that refuses to die. I see the fire in you that's ready to blaze. I see the love in you that's stronger than your pain. You are not a mistake. You are not a failure. You are a miracle, a testimony, a song that heaven is singing. And I, Michael, am here to tell you, this is your moment. This is your awakening. This is your return to the fire you were born to carry. Don't run from it. Don't shrink from it. Embrace it. Step into it. Let it burn away what's false and reveal what's true. You are ready, not because you feel ready, but because God says you are. Beloved, if this message has stirred your heart, if you feel the fire of heaven's call burning deep within your soul, please take a moment to show your support. Click the like button to mark this sacred encounter, to let heaven know your heart is awake and listening. Subscribe to this channel, not for numbers, but to stay connected to the divine messages crafted for souls like yours, souls chosen, set apart, and called by name. Leave a comment, perhaps a simple amen, to echo your yes to God's thunder, a sign that you've heard and felt this holy moment. Join our newsletter through the link in the pinned comments to receive deeper revelations shared with those who walk in heaven as fire. And if your heart is moved, consider sending a super thanks of up to $20 to support this sacred mission. Your gift, no matter the size, helps keep this channel open as a vessel for heaven's voice, reaching others who need to hear their name called. Beloved, you are loved beyond measure, cherished fiercely and eternally. Thank you with all my being for letting this flame touch your spirit, for staying, for listening, for being you. Your presence here has shifted eternity, and I am forever grateful.